This is Stephen Miller, number two, on Fox News today, challenging the accuracy of 42 polls that all show the same thing.
Our opinion that Fox News needs to fire its pollster. And I won't surprise you with that. I don't think you're surprised that I'm saying that. But the Fox News pollster has always been wrong about President Trump. They were the ones that said all summer long that Kamala Harris was going to be the 47th president of the United States. So we don't acknowledge any of that polling.
All right. So, Kristen, there are liberal biased organizations. Fox is not one of them, but there are ones that did polls. All the polls show the same thing. And by the way, private Republican polls show the same thing. The president's approval rating is down. It's just a fact. I mean, you can be a biased organization and do an accurate poll. And if you're looking at 17 polls that all say the same thing, it's probably not, as some on the right are positing, a conspiracy to put out polls to try to damage President Trump at the 100-day anniversary, but rather truth. So when you said you can believe the polls or not, do you have any doubt in your mind that President Trump's approval ratings are down?
So, I mean, I'm going to be a little bit different than the average. When you look at polls, they're a snapshot in time. So I don't look at one poll and freak out or give it over. Or tell someone.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm not asking you to freak out, and I'm not asking you to look at one poll. I'm saying the fact of the matter, the trend and where he is now. He's down. He's not disastrous. He's not at 25%, but he's lower than he was, and it seems to be attributable to some extent to the polls, to the tariffs, rather.
Right. But we could also go back and look at presidents over time. There is a natural deflation of approval rating, especially in a second term, right? You have the euphoric honeymoon of when you're sworn into office, you enjoy your first week or two. And, it's never been Trump has never been, wow, he has the highest approval ratings. It's always been Reagan and JFK when you go back to post-World War II presidents. And so, I think some of that is in part that the honeymoon has worn off. I do think that, the moment of time that we're in, it is capturing that. Do I think that it is a reflection that, oh, we're in trouble here, the polls are down, his approval there? No, not really. Because go back and look, I mean, Trump's approval, again, it is so hard to talk about his approval rating in comparison to other politicians or other electeds or other presidents, because it's not like he's ever had a 90% approval rating, unless you're talking about with Republicans, right? So his approval is probably 90% across the board. So I don't think his approval rating, whether it's above 50% or whether it's 25%, is really indicative of where, how that affects other Republicans or the policy itself. He's just such a unique individual that I think his approval bumps around like that. I think, to me, the polls that I look at more are how Americans are feeling on the economy and whether they feel like their concerns are being met. That is something that I would watch every single day and watch to see how that's moving, because it has jumped around a little bit and there haven't been enough that ask that question consistently to see a reliable trend yet in public polling. But to me, that's am I delivering? Is the president delivering for me? That is the question that I would watch, because that's what someone that's running next November, or if you're running in New Jersey or Virginia this year, that's what you really need to look at. Because if people feel like their concerns aren't being met, they're not going to take that out on Donald Trump. They're not going to hold Donald Trump responsible. They're going to hold someone else who's running on the ballot today responsible for that.
Nomi, so I don't have to do it. Could you, with peace, love, and understanding, critique Kristen's answer to my question?
I think she's right. The numbers that they have to look at are whether or not Americans are approving of this economy and who's to blame. And the polls are saying that the majority of Americans believe that Trump is to blame for this faltering economy. 3 out of 4 Americans right now, 3 out of 4 Americans are worried about the economy and going into a recession. And that is based on one thing: Trump's handling of these tariffs. We saw how within a couple of days, yes, not everybody's invested in the stock market, although there are pensions and lots of other things that do affect working people. But the stock market is an indicator and has a trickle-down effect. For those of us who lived through 2008, we're fully aware of that. It sent the whole world into chaos. And I think that was the concern, is that when Trump says something, it has an impact on the economy. And that has an impact on those working people that he supposedly was there to support. But he has not presented any solutions for working people. He has only made tax breaks for the wealthiest. He has only, supported the oligarchs that are surrounding his circles. He's only cutting government jobs left and right, which, is still a very big employer in this country. And he's done nothing, no solutions. I've been put forward.
He does say, sorry to interrupt, but he does say the tariffs will actually help the working class. You may disagree, but that is his big macro solution right now, right?
Yeah. Okay. And I hear you, and I've heard that. That's what he says. But most economists at this point say it's only going to benefit China. If you're weakening
Yeah.
the United States, these alliances are going to have to be, with whether it's Europe or South America, which is already happening, or in parts of South Asia and Southeast Asia. These are countries that now have to find new allies, and that ally is going to be China. So China will benefit at the end of the day. And that concerns me very much so. And partnering that with his lean into the cryptocurrency world, I think there's a big question about who is really Donald Trump serving? Is it the wealthy? Is it foreign adversaries? I really don't see anything in his economic policy that is serving the American people and strengthening the United States. Yes, we have put in a lot of effort in the last since World War II in stabilizing the world, and I don't agree with all of our stances on the economy and globalization, but this is where we are now. And until you offer a solution for working people, just dismantling the global order is not going to help anybody.
Hey, want to be part of the two-way community all the time? Hit the subscribe button. Great video clips like this, plus conversations like no other, full episodes and more, always available on this channel. You got to hit subscribe to never miss a thing.